talking about bravery and courage. If we take the generally accepted definition of bravery as a quality which knows not fear, I have never seen a brave man. All men are frightened. The more intelligent they are, the more frightened they are. The courageous man is the man who forces himself, in spite of his fear, to carry on. And where does that come from? It comes from discipline, pride, self-respect, self-confidence, and the love of glory are attributes which will make a man courageous even when he is afraid. There's not too many people. I mean, Hackworth would never talk about the love of glory. That's just not his deal. Not his deal.
What you mentioned about bravery, just how you were talking with Sam Harris about it, where bravery is only present if you are scared of something. Because if you're not scared of it, you're not being brave to overcome anything or to go, to do any kind of activity that's, that you're scared of. So
although I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because there's guys that are, he says he's never seen anyone that's not afraid. I've seen some pretty, it's almost the word to use is like crazy. Guys that are just so brave, and you look at them and you go, this guy. I had guys with me, in my task unit, and some of those guys were so brave that I didn't think they were going to make it home. And
is it because they were like, it's like they weren't scared to die at all, like it didn't.
Yeah. And you see almost a lack of self-preservation.
Right.
Not stupid, not suicidal, but like, oh, this guy doesn't think he can be killed. Right. We were talking about that on the last podcast, and I forget the name of the major that was on the beach landing at Tarawa, I think, and he's up and he's like, hey, look, they can't hit me. Come on.
Yeah.
I've seen guys do that.
Yeah. So as far as actual bravery goes, though, so would you consider that, like, let's say, okay, two guys are going to go do some, let's say an MMA fight, right? Mm-hmm. And one guy's just really scared of competing in front of people. It's his first fight or something like that. Then you have this other guy who's not, who just feels different. Same exact situation, but he's like fired up. He's not scared at all. And they both go into it. Did they both exercise the same bravery?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if it matters. For one thing, I can tell you, the guy that's acting like he's not scared is probably the one that's more scared.
Yeah.
With MMA fights.
Sure, right.
And I actually see that combat too. Guys that are overly like bravado are probably more scared. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not holding it against them. But I've seen guys sitting in briefs to go out on operations that you can tell are petrified.
Yeah.
Usually it's a guy that's not used to it. Maybe someone that's visiting in an area of operations and shows up and it's, oh, we're going to take you out on an operation. And you get to see them, they're scared because they're not used to it. All the guys from my task unit, they might be scared, but they're confident. They know what they're doing.
Right.
They've put that fear aside over and over again. So it's not that big of a deal, but you see a guy dealing with that fear for the first time.
Yeah.
And it especially stands out because you got a bunch of confident guys that know, that understand the risks. So you can see their faces. Then you see like that guy that's come in from another area and is going to go out on operation and they're tapping their toes during the brief and they're looking around and they got to overcome that fear. And if they stay there for a few weeks, they'll get used to it too.
Yeah. So it could kind of be looked at as just the act itself, whatever act, if it's understood as being. Yeah.
Sam Harris's point was that it doesn't matter if there's a machine gun nest and you're horrified to go charge it and I'm not, and we both go charge it, and you just had to pretend that you weren't scared. It doesn't matter. You were still being brave.
Right.
And I didn't have to pretend, but I'm being brave. So it doesn't matter whether you're pretending or not. You're brave if you go.
Right.
And
or maybe to overcome or do something that's understood generally as being scary. Just because it's not scary to you, you're still being just as brave.
You are.
But yeah, I think and I guess in a real black and white terms, it's like if you're not scared of this activity you're doing and you do it and you're not scared of it, then you're not being brave. And that's just generally speaking. Like,
you know, what's a good example? Skydivers.
Yeah,
skydivers with 5,000 jumps, they're not scared anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, I know even when I've done 50 jumps, you're not really scared anymore.
Right.
You're just doing it. And guys that have thousands jump, they're not scared at all. That's what they do.
Right.
So they're not being brave. They're just doing their job. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah. So what if some guy's jumping out for the first time and he's scared and he overcomes that fear and jumps out? He is being brave.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the point. Yeah. So if I go outside and check the mail, I'm not being brave.
No, you're not being brave.
But what if there's like a tiger or something out there
then
and I really need that mail? That's pretty brave, right?
Tigers, going after tigers. Yeah, you're brave.
Yeah. You're right.